I am on the edge of my seat just thinking about the sheer brilliance of the writing and the phenomenal performances we were gifted today. Let us dive right into the heart of the darkness that unfolded in the sterile, dimly lit corridors of the hospital. I genuinely believe that the directing in this episode was some of the most cinematic work we have seen all year. The camera slowly panned across the eerily quiet hospital room where Lucas was recovering. After surviving that harrowing shooting at the construction site, thanks to his incredibly clever foresight to wear a bulletproof vest, Lucas looked so vulnerable lying in that hospital bed. The rhythmic, agonizingly slow beeping of the heart monitor was the only sound cutting through the heavy silence. I felt a knot forming in my stomach because we all knew the danger was far from over. The way I interpret it, the hospital room was designed to look like a sanctuary, but it was actually a meticulously baited trap. The visual contrast between the stark white sheets and the creeping shadows in the corners of the room perfectly mirrored the battle between truth and deception that is currently ravaging our beloved characters. And then the door clicked open. The silhouette that slipped into the room sent absolute chills down my spine. It was Cassius. Watching him move with such lethal, calculated precision made my blood run cold. He was not just there to finish the job, he was on a desperate, high stakes mission orchestrated by the cornered and frantic Jens. Cassius was tasked with a dual purpose: locate and utterly destroy the hard drive containing the undeniable video evidence of the shooting, and then neutralize Lucas. I feel like the writers did an incredible job showcasing the lengths to which Cassius will go to protect his unholy alliance with Jens. Every step he took toward that hospital bed was dripping with malice. You could see the cold, unfeeling determination in his eyes, a stark reminder that this man is a predator wearing a familiar, beloved face. As Cassius reached into his dark jacket and slowly withdrew a medical syringe, the ambient light from the hallway caught the glint of the needle. I literally gasped out loud. He intended to inject Lucas with a powerful anesthetic, drag his unconscious body out of the hospital, and use him as the ultimate hostage to leverage against the authorities. So, now, I know I have seen some chatter online, and I need to acknowledge the fandom complaints here. Some viewers have been frustrated, arguing that it made no sense for the police to leave Lucas seemingly unguarded in a standard recovery room when a dangerous man was on the loose. But I respectfully disagree with that critique. If you look closely at the narrative breadcrumbs, the lack of visible security was entirely intentional. It was an elaborate ruse, a psychological game of chess, and Cassius walked right into the trap. Just as Cassius raised the syringe, his hand hovering mere inches from the IV line, the shadows in the corner of the room literally came alive. I am not exaggerating when I say I cheered at my screen. It was Dante. He had been waiting there the entire time, cloaked in the darkness, anticipating this exact move. Dante's instincts as a detective have never been sharper. The way he stepped out of the gloom, his voice low, steady, and dripping with authority as he commanded Cassius to drop the weapon, was pure television gold. Dante had suspected that Jens would send someone to tie up loose ends, and he positioned himself as the ultimate shield for Lucas. I feel like this moment highlighted Dante's profound dedication to his family and his badge. He was not just a cop making a bust, he was a protector, defending his own. What followed was one of the most intense, visceral physical struggles we have witnessed in recent memory. Cassius, realizing he was cornered, lunged like a wounded animal. The syringe went flying, clattering uselessly against the cold linoleum floor. Dante and Cassius collided, sending medical trays crashing and shattering the quiet peace of the ward. The choreography of this fight was raw and desperate. I genuinely believe you could feel the weight of every blow. Cassius fought with the frantic energy of a man who knows his freedom is slipping away, but Dante's righteous fury and tactical training overpowered him. With a final, decisive maneuver, Dante slammed Cassius against the wall, twisting his arms behind his back. The sharp, metallic click of the handcuffs echoing through the room was the most satisfying sound I have heard all week. Justice was finally taking its hold. While the physical battle was won in that hospital room, the emotional devastation was just beginning to unfold across town. The narrative brilliantly shifted to Liesel, and my heart instantly shattered into a million pieces for her. Liesel received the fateful phone call detailing the events at the hospital. The way the camera lingered on her face as the news washed over her was a masterclass in acting. You could literally see the foundation of her entire world crumbling beneath her feet. For so long, she had been clinging to the desperate, impossible hope that her beloved son had somehow returned to her. But the brutal reality crashed down upon her. The man wearing her son's face, the man she had poured her complicated maternal love into, was an impostor. The absolute horror of the revelation cannot be overstated. Liesel was forced to confront the agonizing truth that Nathan, her sweet, honorable, deeply missed Nathan, is truly gone. He is dead, and he is never coming back. The man parading around in his image is her other son, Cassius. The sheer cruelty of this deception is staggering. I feel like the writers have pushed Liesel to the absolute brink of human endurance. To learn that her own flesh and blood, Cassius, is the true villain orchestrating this nightmare is a betrayal of the highest order. It is a psychological torture that goes beyond anything she has ever experienced. She realized in that suffocating moment that Cassius was not a victim of circumstance, but a willing, malevolent participant in a plot to destroy everything she holds dear. What makes this betrayal even more sickening, and what I believe truly broke Liesel's spirit, is the realization of who Cassius was targeting. Lucas is her nephew. Cassius, her own son, was sneaking into a hospital room with a syringe to kidnap, harm, and potentially kill her nephew. The twisted, toxic branches of this family tree are choking the life out of her. I am on the edge of my seat watching her process this trauma. Liesel has done terrible things in her past, yes, but her love for her family, especially Nathan, was her one redeeming grace. To have that love weaponized against her, to know that her surviving son is a monster preying on her own bloodline, is a Shakespearean tragedy. I genuinely believe the actress portraying Liesel deserves every award available for portraying this raw, guttural grief. Back at the hospital, the aftermath of the arrest was a masterstroke of police work. With Cassius securely in custody, the immediate threat to Lucas was neutralized, but the victory extended far beyond the hospital walls. Because Cassius failed his mission, the hard drive containing the crystal clear video of the shooting at the construction site remained perfectly intact. Dante secured the evidence, and let me tell you, the look of triumph on his face was infectious. This was the smoking gun they needed. The video not only proves that Lucas was the victim of a calculated, cold-blooded murder attempt, but it irrevocably ties the entire bloody affair directly to Jen's. The dominoes are finally starting to fall, and the sound is absolutely glorious. The way I interpret the closing moments of the episode, Cassius's arrest is the fatal blow to the empire of terror that Jens has built. Cassius is a mercenary, not a martyr. With the handcuffs tight around his wrists and the reality of a lengthy prison sentence looming over him, the leverage has completely shifted. The police now have the evidence to corroborate the video, and more importantly, they have the missing piece of the puzzle to track down the exact whereabouts of Jens. The net is closing in. The police department is mobilizing, and the days of Jens operating in the shadows, pulling strings and terrorizing our favorite characters, are rapidly coming to an end. The arrogance that led Jens to send Cassius into that hospital room is exactly what is going to ensure his ultimate downfall. As we look toward the future, I feel like we are on a massive collision course that will shake Port Charles to its very core. All of these explosive storylines are converging into one spectacular focal point. We have Dante and the police armed with irrefutable evidence, preparing to raid the stronghold where Jens is hiding. We have Lucas, who has survived the unthinkable, ready to reclaim his life. But the true storm on the horizon is Liesel. I genuinely believe that when Liesel finally comes face to face with Cassius in that interrogation room, we are going to witness an emotional explosion unlike anything else. She has lost Nathan all over again, and her grief is going to quickly morph into a terrifying, vengeful wrath. Jens may be the mastermind, but Cassius is the one who broke a mother's heart. Buckle up, everyone, because the fallout from this night is going to be legendary, and I cannot wait to experience every single second of it with all of you.